Now, right through the climate summit, we're taking a look at the impact climate change is having. Here in Scotland, it's often linked to flooding caused by either rising sea levels, rivers bursting their banks, or flooding at surface level. Today at the COP, adapting to our changing climate has been a major theme. Our environment correspondent Kevin Keane reports now on the work underway to try to hold back the waters.
The fast-flowing waters of the Garrel River have become a feature of the Dumbreck Nature Reserve. But that's changing thanks to a £2 million project to reroute the river and slow it down.
So what you can see here is one of the meanders in the channels.
The driver of change is biodiversity improvement in the water, but it also helps control flooding.
Originally the channel was straightened. What we've done is we've brought in these meanders because they have fantastic habitat for wildlife, and they slow down the water as it flows through the channel, which is great for localised flooding.
Re-engineering is one way to control potential flooding, which is already increasing because of the changing climate. At Broughty Ferry, they're building defences to protect from rising sea levels. Although the waves can be rough, the houses here haven't been known to flood before.
We have two walls here. Initially this is the primary wall on the seaside, so the wall on the seaside, it takes the impact of the waves in a storm event.
But they're spending £15 million to protect against what's to come.
Our modelling has shown that the tidal levels are rising in this area, and that's why we've gone for the setback wall. So the setback wall will contain that rising tide levels. So as you see, this wall is 1.2 metres high at this point, which is worked out on the 200-year storm event.
Rainwater flooding is also becoming more commonplace. To protect neighbouring homes, this giant tank has been built under the road at Christon. When it's completed, this vast cavern will be completely covered over so that it's not visible from the road. But inside are 500 cubic metres of space for the rainwater to run into before being pumped away. But doing this to protect every home in Scotland would just be too expensive. So what's the plan?
Well, there's a number of ways we can deal with the threat of flooding. We can try and fix it if we want. It would cost a lot of money, it would take a lot of time, and I don't know if we would ever get there. So we have to think about how we can become more resilient, and we can think about different techniques to lessen the impact of floods when it happens.
Preparing for climate change is critical for all countries, but many at COP don't have the option of throwing money at the problem like we have, and so the impacts are likely to be much worse. Kevin Keane reporting, Scotland.